Get rid of me while I talk about why I chose to go to a PWI instead of an HBCU as a black girl. So if you guys didn't know, I got accepted into a college out of state and I leave mid-August and it's all the way in Massachusetts. And it is a PWI, which means a predominantly white school. And I've gotten questions from some of you guys basically asking why I'm not going to an HBCU. And to be honest, like no shade, a main reason is because I feel like I just wouldn't belong at an HBCU. In my 18 years of living, I don't think I've ever been called whitewashed by a white person, but when it comes to black people, I don't even have enough fingers for that. And it generally like irritates me because how are you whitewashed because you talk a certain way or you dress a certain way or you just like certain things? I don't believe you can act a color, but I get told I act white all the time by like black people. And like if I'm being honest with y'all, it's not even like I'm trying to be whitewashed. It's just basically like how I grew up. Like I've lived in white like suburban neighborhoods my whole life. I don't think I've ever been in a black community. And I've also been to PWIs since elementary school. I literally went to a private school when I was like a kid. So needless to say, I haven't been like exposed to like certain like black cultures or traditions or just like customs, I guess, that most black people have. So I feel like I don't belong. Like I feel like I literally stand out whenever I'm surrounded by black people. Like I don't know how to Dougie, I don't know how to footwork. I don't get my hair done every 2 weeks. I don't get bust down like wigs. Like and like I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I do sometimes wish it was different. Like I do wish I grew up in black community. Because in a way I also feel like I don't fit in with white communities because obviously I'm not white. Like my friends would be talking about like going tanning and how like greasy and oily their hair is and I'm just like, what? And also whenever I bring up things like I don't wash my hair every day, like because you're not supposed to, like if you have hair like I do, that like baffles white people. I don't know. I low-key just feel like I don't belong like in white communities or black communities, but I do feel like I'm just more like fitted in white communities. I still stand out because whenever we take group pictures, I'm like the only black person in the picture. Like my senior year, I was the only black person on my basketball team and you could tell, like you could tell. With all this being said, I do wish and hope and pray that whenever I go to college, I do find my own group of like fellow black people. I guess just for me personally, I feel like it's better for me to go to a PWI and then find like a smaller group of black.
All right, before we continue, one thing I'll just say is there's so much stuff to tackle here. So it's sad that people today still have to view things from a lens of color, right? Like God created us all in our own unique ways, and part of that is different skin tones. Like this is all glorious. The problem is, and I feel sorry for her, right? And other people like her who grew up in these environments. And again, this by no means is not like racism exists. We know this, right? Racism, there are sadly still racist people today. We know that. But at the end of the day, if you are an individual, right? Let's say, for example, her, she's a colored lady, right? And she's surrounded herself for the most part in white areas or white environments, and that already is the issue. Not that she's surrounding herself, but the fact that it's classified as a white area or a white school. That's the problem, right? So when she says stuff like I feel out of place, I can empathize with her, but at the same time it's because you're focusing on your skin tone, right? Don't do that. So I'll give you an example. One of the things that kept ringing in my head, and I mention it from time to time, is you know how they say stuff like, you know what, black time? There's this whole stereotype that black people show up late. It's a stereotype. But what's the implication? Okay, other people, or if you know, say like white people or Asian, whatever it is, they show up early or they show up on time. But black people, if they tell you a time, best believe they're going to show up late, right? These are stereotypes. And the more you play into the stereotype, the more you find yourself in a situation like this young lady, where it's like, well, we take a picture on the basketball team and she's the only black girl, and it's like it looks off, it stands out. She takes a picture of her friends and most of her friends are white, and because of that, she stands out. Like, your friends, if they're good friends, yes, they acknowledge that you are a different skin tone, but they don't look at you like that. Like, oh, she's a different skin tone, she stands out. No, that's like, think about the friends that you have who are a different skin tone than you. And think about the ones you have that are your closest friends. Do you spend your time focusing on the fact that they're a different skin tone? Do you? No. You just focus on the fact that they're your friend. That's what friendship is. That's what brotherhood is. That's what family is. When you're so close to someone, you don't see those things. Like, you're not blind, obviously. You know, like, yes, we're different skin tones, but you see more than that. And I always go back to the fact that on the first page of the Bible, God did something which was magnificent. Let us make man in our image and in our likeness. He made us uniquely special and one of a kind, and he gave us the fingerprints to prove it. You have a unique set of fingerprints than anyone that will ever exist in the universe. That is God's way of showcasing to you from the very beginning. Every day you wake up and you wipe the boogers out of your eyes, you see your fingerprints, you realize you are special. And because you are special, you should never allow these things to get the best of you, just in simple terms. So I wouldn't ever say like I'm classifying it as I went to a PWI or I didn't go to a HBCU. Like, no, go to the place which is going to provide you the best opportunity to succeed in the long term.
Probably have the same experiences that I do. I already probably know that I'm gonna be getting like whitewash comments on this video. I don't care. It's nothing I haven't heard before. But yeah, I love you guys. God love you guys. Hope you guys have a blessed Friday. Get rid of me while I talk about why.
So obviously, success isn't, again, I'm going to keep driving this home. Success isn't a white thing or a black thing or an Asian thing or a Mexican thing or a Chinese thing or an American thing. No, success is just a godly thing, just to kind of whittle it down to its basics, the first principles. If you follow the principles that God has set up in order to be successful, the likelihood is that with enough time, you will show yourself, you will reap the results of a successful person. You will become successful. If you follow the foolish, unwise, poor techniques and strategies and decisions, you are going to reap those results because that is how God has set things up. There are anomalies, there are situations, think like the book of Job. Job is a wealthy guy, a righteous guy, he's doing the right things. And for a season in his life, things looked like very different to what he was actually doing. But it was a season, guys. This is why I always say, as hard as it is, even in difficult times, continue to do the wise thing, because what's going to happen? That season will typically pass. And if it doesn't pass, then you're dead. So you're in heaven. Rejoice. So think about it from that perspective. If you continue to take the wise steps, if you continue to take the wise results, you may find yourself in a situation which, if you're looking at the wrong things, i.e. skin tone, you may find yourself being uncomfortable. And again, I'm not saying this to say, if you're in a room with a bunch of white people or a bunch of Asian people, that you should be totally oblivious to your skin tone. No, God made you in that way for a reason. But at the same time, just understand there's nothing stopping many people who look like you from being there as well. They may have come from a difficult scenario just like you, or maybe not like you. They may be in different scenarios, but we live in a society, we live in a world today where we can continue, and it's much more easier for us to take the steps that we need to take in order to prosper, in order for us to succeed, right? We're not even in an environment anymore where there's chains around your neck, there's chains around your arms, you're being lynched or anything along those lines. There's so much more freedom that we have today in the Western society that we can use in order to prosper on so many different levels. But if we continue to focus on the past, if we continue to think that success is only for white people, or success is only for, or only Chinese people are smart, you're going to continue to reap that sort of thinking and that sort of result. So I don't think for myself, and I don't raise my children, all 6 of them, in a way where it's like, because you have black skin, not that racism will never happen to you. Maybe it will. The likelihood is it will, right? Especially if we continue to live in a racist society. But at the same time, even that shouldn't stop you from taking the wise steps in the right direction, because I'm going to tell them, and will continue to tell them, there's so many examples in the word of people who suffered unjustly but continue to elevate. Think Joseph in the Bible. Think Daniel. There's so many different examples of people. Think Job, people that are treated in a ungodly way and God elevates them as they continue to stay faithful. That will be my lesson to my children. That's my lesson to you, and the lesson to me as well. Continue to stay faithful, continue to take the wise steps, and you will continue to see, I promise you, more and more of those wise seeds that you plant produce wise fruit perpetually. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to react righteously. God bless.